So the Buenos Aires ePrix took place on the 10th of January in the wonderful city, the capital city of Argentina. The fans were out in force, thousands of them flocking to see the EJ, but also to see the Formula E cars get ready to take to the grid. At the start of the race, it was a great start from Nick Heidfeld. He was on the outside from third on the grid on the run down to turn one. But look at him here, going around the outside. He even got a bit of a tap there, I think, from Alguersuari and managed to get himself up into second position. Yeah, there's the contact on the left side pod of Heidfeld's car, but he still managed to take second place away. Buemi was leading the race and looking reasonably comfortable. But Lucas di Grassi in fifth place was the man who was on a mission, as Alain Prost watched on nervously. And then we had some great scraps going on as Sam Bird attacked Nick Heidfeld. Heidfeld had gone wide at the previous corner, and that allowed Antonio Felix da Costa to try and attack as well. Karun Chandok had a suspension problem which put him out of the race, and a real shame for the Indian driver because he was running up inside the top 10. Stefan Sarazan did well to avoid the spinning Mahindra. Then the pit stops came. Sebastian Buemi switched over, but just at the same time the safety car was deployed because of Karun Chandok's car off at the side of the track. That meant we had quite a lengthy safety car period as they tried to sort everyone out into the correct race order. Sam Bird exited the pits but under the red light, and that meant that he was given a drive-through penalty later on in the race. Sebastian Buemi clipped the wall and sent himself out of the Grand Prix, to the delight of the Abt team, because that meant that Lucas di Grassi was then in the lead of the race. Buemi knew that the mistake had cost him. But it wasn't all happy for the Abt team, because then di Grassi had a suspension problem, forcing him out of the race as well. A pretty hefty impact with the wall, and the Brazilian and championship leader was forced out of the ePrix. And that was very difficult for the Abt team to react to that one. They went from delight to distraught in moments. And then it got even worse. Daniel Abt trying to pass Nico Cross, misjudged it and took out Jaime Alguersuari and broke his front right suspension as well. But Nick Heidfeld was then in the lead of the race, but in his second car his pit lane limiter wasn't turned on, so he had to serve a drive-through penalty. In the final laps it all got a bit argy-bargy as Jean-Eric Vergne tried to force his way past Bruno Senna, wasn't quite able to, but Antonio Felix da Costa took the checkered flag to take victory in Buenos Aires for himself and the delighted Amlin Aguri team. A wonderful performance from them, and that moves them up into championship contention. Di Grassi still leads the championship, but it's da Costa who's on top in Argentina. And here are how the points look. Lucas di Grassi, top of the championship, but 21 points separate Lucas di Grassi first and Nelson Piquet Jr. down in fifth position. It's so tight up there as we go into what I suppose is now, well, not quite the second half of the season. We'll be halfway through after Miami, but it's Lucas di Grassi at the top of the standings, and a really strong performance from him today, but he unfortunately had that suspension problem. Bruno Senna there in 11th place. Another difficult day for the Brazilian. Catalan Oriol Servia picked up a point with a 10th place finish. Jarno Trulli finished in 13th in the championship standings. So now let's have a look at the team standings. It's Edams who are top. They are a good chunk now clear of Virgin. Audi Sport Abt are in third position, but it's still pretty close as we head to Miami in 2 months' time. Make sure you join us on the 15th of March. From myself, Jack Nicholls, Dario Franchitti, Nicky Shields as well. We'll see you in Miami.
When the lightning strikes, let's stand together. When the moment comes, let's stand as one.